Well, it was two ends of the spectrum. Obviously, it was we weren't very happy with what we were doing for the first 40 minutes of the hockey game, and we were fortunate that we were only down one goal, and the tide had really turned, and we were kind of like we were paralyzed at some points in the game, and I think our goaltender gave us a chance, and when we got to the room, we just made a decision that we'd have to start to change a few of the things that were going on out there, or it was going to get worse. And to their credit, they went out and did it, and it started right with the first shift. We had no offensive zone time in the first two periods. It was minimal. So they made a change in their mindset that they were going to put it in and start to create some more time in the offensive zone. In the very first shift, we get a goal off it, which was a lucky break, and then they just maintained it. And they're the ones to be credited for it.
Are you happy with the play of Kadri's line again tonight? Or
who's that? You guys just want to anoint him, don't you? He's a great young player, and he's got skill set that separates him from people. But in the second period, he goes 1-on-4, and he was the start of the onslaught of turning the puck over, and then he had a 2-minute shift, and he had all those things, and he still ends up being the fair-haired boy, you know? And that's great because he is a special player. He's a young player, and those are the learning curves that have to take place. And we talked about it, and he agreed. So hats off to him.
Does that start maybe because a lot of what the Devils are doing too, Randy, do you think?
Well, obviously, when you play in the New Jersey Hockey Club, you know they're going to try and clog it up. They're going to try and play that puck possession game. They're going to want to create as much offensive zone time as possible, and they're hard to control. They're a good hockey club. They went to the Stanley Cup final last year playing that way, and there wasn't a lot of turnover in their personnel other than maybe the big guy Parise. But he was missing for half of the year last year too. And Sajak missed 20-some games for them last year, but they found a way to get their team playing to the level that's required, and it was very evident in the first part of the hockey game that they haven't forgot how to do that.
Good to see James bounce back from his start in Long Island, even though he
won in Long Island, but I guess there's times when you win and you're not looking at the best as far as we're concerned. It was the puck handling and the nervousness of the puck around the net on dump-ins and that gave us a few gray hairs, or the hair that we do have left turned a little grayer.
Randy, when you're dealing with the development of a player like Kadri, is part of your thinking that maybe you have to continue to make it clear to him that, you know, there are times when you're maybe not quite as impressed with him as everybody else is?
Yeah, I think that what the most important thing is that you have the ability to reach to him and get to him, that there are different ways to play the game than what you just did. It's not that it's totally wrong, and you're going to continue to have success if you take the law of averages and do the things 100% of the time in that situation versus if he's doing it 50. We're looking at 100%. And those are the little things that happen within the game. And, you know, face-offs are an area that needs a vast improvement. And it's not just taking the face-off, it's competing on the face-off, and it's battling, and it's tying up. There's different ways to take it, you know. And those are all the things that'll come with some maturity and some experience. And what we're trying to do is make sure, and I've said this numerous times, that Nazem Kadri plays in the league for 10 or 15 years, not for 4 or 5. And we want to teach him the right way to play, and because he's got a tremendous talent package there.
Were you happy to see Clark come through? He was kind of buzzing.
Well, you know, Clark MacArthur, and you know, since we've moved him with Kadri, has had a breakout in 3 games. I think with some of the things that we charted, he was in on creating 26 scoring chances for us. So that's a huge number when you start doing the breakdown of the tape and you start to do the analyzing of the level of some players are playing to. And then it was one of the stats that was sticking out there that he had a hand in helping 26 scoring chances in 3 games. That's a lot of positives going on for him out there, and it just so happens that he's playing with Nazem Kadri, and you know, be a fool to not leave them together.
Is there any sense of relief for you to see Kessel scoring first time this year?
I think it's always nice. I thought that we gave him the chance to go out there with the empty net so that he could get another one. I think with goal scorers, they need those cookies. Those are part of the responsibility as a coaching staff to give your star players those opportunities. And I think if you asked any player or any goal scorer, they would covet the opportunity to be out there when the goaltender's out.
If it takes 55 points to make the playoffs this year, I mean, that means you guys need 27 points in your last 25 games, which seems very, very doable given what you've done so far. Are you starting to think that this team is one that can be in the postseason and compete at this point?
You'll never get me to say that we'll be this or we'll be that. We will be what we are. We'll represent ourselves through our record, and we'll leave the other people and you people being part of that to make those statements about what we are. We have to earn it. We have to earn the respect, and we have to go day to day and continue to push for it. We're not satisfied with where we are. We have to play better than what we've played. We know that. When we get playing here and we're going to play, I guess it's 25 more games. I don't think we're going to be able to sneak out of a game and feel as good as we do tonight if we only play 20 minutes of solid hockey. And that's, there's lots of room for this hockey club to improve on.
Has there been a growth in self-belief in this team in the last little while?
I think what our group is buying in. We think that they're buying some of the stuff we're selling, and it's not really that complicated when you break it down. We're just trying to put a program in place that everybody in the league and all sports teams do, that we have one common goal, and it sounds very cliche type. It's all for one and one for all that team before self, and then the crest on the front is more important than the name on the back, all of those cliches. But in reality, if they go out there and work for one another and work as a team and play a system, that there's a lot of success is available to us if we outwork teams. Because in a lot of ways, a lot of the skill in the NHL with the salary cap has been distributed more evenly through the league because of the money that's been spent. And that's a fact. Parity is part of the NHL, so you have to find ways that you've got to be more consistent and better at than other teams. And be it if it's your penalty killing, if it's your power play, if it's your defensive zone coverage, if it's your forecheck game, you've got to be prepared to compete against the top levels, top teams in the league to reach a certain level, to consider yourself an elite hockey team, and that's what we're trying to push for. This isn't something that we're just saying, hey, we're going to throw it on the wall and this is what we're going to be. We're going to live what we're going to be.
As a coach, take two more. Driving home tonight, will you think more about the 40 minutes that you didn't probably like that much, or you'll be happy with the way they were able to pull it out?
I just hope there's no traffic. And then I really have to think about everything.
From you about the loss of Mike Brown.
Yeah, these are tough situations. Mike Brown, if there was one person that you say demonstrated what we're asking our players to be, it's Mike Brown. Mike Brown is a guy that come in and gave everything he possibly could for this hockey club. He would do anything what you asked of him. He never, ever complained. All he ever asked for was an honest and a fair shake. And as a coach, it's hard to find those no-maintenance people that go out and do everything at 110 and 120%, besides being a great person. And we wish him all the best. And he's going to get an opportunity to join a very young, talented team in Edmonton. And it's the second time I've had Mike Brown. And we have nothing but praise for him.
Is that a good fit for him? It looks like it's a good fit for him in Edmonton in terms of...
obviously, when you do these things, you do them for reasons that are selfish for your own hockey club. And obviously they felt that they had a piece of that they were going to utilize, and Mike Brown's assets are going to enhance the opportunity of the Edmonton Oilers to have success.